Vocabulary, cooking methods and tools. Blanch, verb. To briefly boil food, then immediately cool it in ice water to stop cooking. Examples. Blanch the tomatoes before peeling their skins. The chef blanched the green beans to keep their color. You should blanch the almonds before grinding them. Sauté, verb. To cook food quickly in a small amount of oil or butter over medium-high heat. Examples. Sauté the onions until they turn golden. She sautéed the mushrooms with garlic. They sautéed the chicken before adding it to the sauce. Simmer, verb. To cook something gently just below boiling point. Examples. Let the soup simmer for 20 minutes. The sauce should simmer until it thickens. Simmer the stew on low heat for a few hours. Poach, verb. To cook food gently in hot liquid without boiling. Examples. Poach the eggs for about 3 minutes. The chef poached the pears in red wine. Poaching fish keeps it tender and moist. Grill, verb. To cook food using direct heat from above. Examples. Broil the steak for 5 minutes on each side. She broiled the fish until it was crispy on top. The vegetables were broiled to enhance their flavor. Whisk, verb. To beat or stir something quickly with a whisk or fork. Examples. Whisk the eggs until they are light and fluffy. She whisked the cream to make whipped topping. Make sure to whisk the sauce to avoid lumps. Marinate, verb. To soak food in a seasoned liquid to add flavor or tenderize it. Examples. Marinate the chicken overnight for better taste. She marinated the vegetables in olive oil and vinegar. The recipe says to marinate the meat for 2 hours. Caramelize, verb. To cook sugar or food with natural sugars until it becomes brown and sweet. Examples. Caramelize the onions for a rich flavor. The chef caramelized the sugar for the dessert topping. She caramelized the bananas in butter and sugar. Roast, verb. To cook food in an oven or over an open flame, often with dry heat. Examples. Roast the chicken with herbs and spices. They roasted the vegetables until they were slightly crispy. The recipe calls for roasted nuts. Glaze, verb. To coat food with a shiny layer of liquid or sauce. Examples. Glaze the donuts with a sweet icing. She glazed the ham with a honey mustard sauce. The carrots were glazed with brown sugar and butter. Colander, noun. A bowl-shaped tool with holes used to drain liquid from food. Examples. Drain the pasta using a colander. She washed the strawberries in a colander. The colander is perfect for rinsing vegetables. Mandoline, noun. A kitchen tool used for slicing food thinly and evenly. Examples. Use a mandoline to slice the cucumbers. The chef used a mandoline for paper-thin potato chips. Be careful not to cut yourself on the mandoline blade. Zester, noun. A tool used to remove the outermost layer of citrus fruit peel. Examples. The recipe calls for lemon zest, so grab a zester. She used a zester to add orange peel to the cake. A good zester is essential for baking. Pestle and mortar, noun. A tool set used for grinding or crushing spices and herbs. Examples. Grind the garlic and ginger with a pestle and mortar. She used the pestle and mortar to crush some peppercorns. The basil leaves were turned into pesto using a mortar and pestle. Skimmer, noun. A flat, slotted tool used to remove food from hot liquid or skim impurities. Examples. Use a skimmer to remove the foam from the soup. She used the skimmer to take out fried potatoes from the oil. The skimmer is ideal for lifting dumplings from boiling water. Measuring cup, noun. A tool used to measure liquid or solid ingredients accurately. Examples. She used a measuring cup to add exactly 1 cup of flour. Liquid measuring cups usually have a spout. Always check the measuring cup for accuracy when baking. Rolling pin, noun. A cylindrical tool used to roll out dough. Examples. She used the rolling pin to flatten the pie crust. The wooden rolling pin worked perfectly for the pizza dough. A marble rolling pin stays cool while rolling dough. Grater, noun. A tool with sharp edges for shredding or grating food. Examples. Grate the cheese with a box grater. She used a grater to shred the carrots. A fine grater is perfect for zesting lemons. Basting brush, noun. A tool used to spread liquid or sauce over food while cooking. Examples. Brush the chicken with butter using the basting brush. She used a basting brush to glaze the pastries. The silicone basting brush is easier to clean than the traditional one. Spatula, noun. A flat tool used to flip, mix, or spread food. Examples. Flip the pancakes with a spatula. She used a spatula to spread icing on the cake. A heat-resistant spatula is great for cooking. Cleaver, noun. A large, heavy knife used for chopping meat and cutting through bones. Examples. The butcher used a cleaver to separate the ribs. A cleaver is essential for preparing large cuts of meat. She handled the cleaver carefully to avoid accidents. Tongs, noun. A tool with two arms used for picking up and handling food. Examples. Use the tongs to turn the grilled vegetables. She grabbed the pasta with a pair of tongs. The chef used tongs to plate the roasted chicken. Deglaze, verb. To add liquid to a hot pan to dissolve the caramelized bits of food for making a sauce. Examples. Deglaze the pan with white wine for the sauce. She deglazed the skillet with beef broth after browning the steak. Deglazing adds extra flavor to your dish. Parboil, verb. To partially cook food by boiling it briefly, often before further cooking. Examples. Parboil the potatoes before roasting them. The carrots were parboiled to soften them. Parboiling reduces the cooking time for tough vegetables. Knead, verb. To work dough by pressing, folding, and stretching it to develop elasticity. Examples. Knead the bread dough for 10 minutes. She kneaded the dough until it became smooth. The recipe says to knead until the dough is soft and elastic. Ramekin, noun. A small ceramic dish used for baking and serving individual portions. Examples. Pour the crème brûlée mixture into the ramekins. The ramekins are perfect for serving soufflés. She baked the chocolate lava cake in individual ramekins. Fillet, verb. To remove bones from fish or meat. Examples. Fillet the salmon before grilling it. The chef expertly filleted the chicken breast. She learned to fillet a fish during her cooking class. Emulsify, verb. To mix two liquids that usually don't combine, like oil and water, into a smooth mixture. Examples. Emulsify the vinaigrette by whisking it vigorously. The mayonnaise was emulsified to a creamy consistency. She used a blender to emulsify the soup. Braise, verb. To cook food slowly in a small amount of liquid in a covered pan, often after browning it. Examples. Braise the beef in red wine for a tender texture. The vegetables were braised with herbs and spices. She braised the lamb shanks for hours to enhance the flavor. Steep, verb. To soak solid ingredients, such as tea leaves or spices, in liquid to extract flavors. Examples. Steep the tea for 5 minutes before serving. She steeped the cinnamon sticks in hot water to make spiced tea. The chef steeped saffron threads in warm milk for the sauce.